You know what, Charity?
What is it, Sarah?
I feel the urge to draw something.
Well, you should follow that urge.
I should. Ooh.
I think it's calling your name.
Yeah.
What color are you feeling today? We have so many options.
Your hat is giving me some inspiration.
Oh, yes.
So in honor of green.
Yes, my old Mike Nesmith hat.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Which, to be honest, I've always liked his hat, so it is very reminiscent of that. Okay, so in honor of Mike Nesmith and Charity's green hat, I am going to pick a green something from the jar.
Drum roll.
And it's something of historical significance.
Of course, you'd like this one. What do we get? How
old are your favorite brands?
Ooh.
So this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting for me because this is a history episode.
I know. I'm feeling a taste test coming on.
Ooh, I feel that too.
Hey, any excuse to eat is a good thing for me. So
yeah. So stand by as we fill our stomachs.
We need to go shopping real quick.
Hey everybody, it's Sarah.
And it's Charity.
And welcome to Bobbleheads on the Dash.
And it's taste testing edition.
It is.
Historical taste testing.
I feel like we're finally working up to like the typical YouTube thing where you have to taste test food.
That's true. You know? It's very much like 2010s YouTube. So yeah. we're getting there.
Well, we're not quite Good Mythical Morning, but we at least have some stuff here.
In this box of mystery, we have purchased some items, and we specifically looked for items where maybe the date was on the actual packaging, where it says. Yeah. Since 19 blah blah blah, and so we're gonna try some old things. I will say at the top, it would be cool if we could actually test them, like taste test them of what they used to taste like.
Oh, I wish.
Before all the chemicals and stuff. Because let's be honest, if we buy something now, it's gonna be like a grocery list of like, look at all these things you can't pronounce. But back in the day, they used actual real ingredients, so it probably tasted just as good back then.
We're at least having a testament of, even though stuff has changed, the fact that these products have still been around, some of these well over 100 years, are still around. So at least in terms of the lasting power is still going on.
Okay, so here's the first thing. I'm going to go first and then we can alternate of who picks the next item.
Okay.
I am excited to try something that is very popular. We just came out of the holiday season. I have never had fruitcake. So I know with fruitcake, you either love it or you hate it. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to eat it hot or cold.
Yeah.
Or if you're supposed to have it with rum or whatever. So this is just a store-bought fruitcake. So I will say, if I don't like it, I will hold space open in my heart for a homemade fruitcake. Because I know someone's Aunt Becky probably has the best fruitcake. But here it is. I have pre-sliced a few pieces before we started the show here. Okay, you ready?
All right, let's do it. Bon appetit.
Yeah, cheers.
Ting. Okay, here we go. Is it like too much fruit and not enough cake? Is that what it is?
I mean, it reminds me of banana bread, which I like. There's nuts in it, and I don't know if we talked about this before. I don't like nuts in my dessert. It's not as terrible as what they do in the movies. I probably wouldn't want a loaf of it for Christmas. I don't know, maybe 3 out of 10. Because I feel like it would be a decent coffee cake. Like you take all the fruit and the nuts out.
Ah, yeah.
I would eat just the breaded part.
Well, and you had mentioned it, either eating it like cold or hot. It probably does taste better with a little bit of warmth added to it. Like just a little zap in the microwave for about 10 seconds.
Maybe a little scoop of ice cream. Because ice cream makes everything better.
So it's really good unless we punch it up a bit. This particular brand of fruitcake comes from Benson's Bakery. So it was founded by W. Howard Benson, a bread baker in Northeast Georgia. Benson's Inc. has been a supplier of quality bakery products since 1918. In the early 1950s, second generation Benson, so maybe was a son or someone, actually decided to make fruitcake something for his club's fundraiser, and it became so popular, it just became part of the staple of Benson's, and I guess it's been like that ever since. So the bakery's been around since 1918, but the fruitcake thereof started, I guess about 70-ish years ago.
Okay, so what would you like to try next?
Let's go ahead and do something more liquidy, or not more liquidy, but very liquidy. So behind us we have some Martinellis, which we're quite familiar with the Martinellis in terms of the sparkling punch. We
that's true. Yeah,
we do that on occasion with our
sponsored by
with our sparkling, champagne glass and stuff. But straight up apple juice. I don't think I've ever had their apple juice before.
Oh, look at the back. 100% juice since 1868. Drink your apple a day. Oh, that's cute.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so I guess a bottle of this equals an apple.
A bottle of Martinelli's a day might possibly keep the doctor away, but we can't be held responsible.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
So, I'm down. Plus, it'd be kind of good. Maybe we can wash down the fruitcake with some good old-fashioned apple juice.
Now, I provided us with these cute little cups. Now, I will say, side note, apparently this is a thing I've seen on TikTok lately. Americans drink out of the bottle, but if you leave the United States, apparently that's just like, oh, that's so savage. So should we be civilized and pour it in a little cup, or should we just drink out of the bottle?
I'm going to be patriotic and drink out of the bottle. It's already in a perfect size glass anyway. So,
okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
That's good, and I actually normally don't like apple juice.
I would expect it to be good quality just because we do kind of have we do kind of like Martinelli's. I will say I'm used to like the sparkling stuff, so it's nice to just have regular apple juice.
It is good. I will say, normally, one of the reasons why I don't like apple juice, one, it reminds me of, I don't know.
Being a kid.
Yeah, like being a toddler, and so apple juice, I associate with like wet graham crackers and like cookie crumbs all over the floor.
Snack time.
Yeah, it's just, it's kind of gross. Like, it smells like a nursery. Right? But this juice is actually really good, and it doesn't make my mouth feel weird.
I think she mentioned, if I remember correctly, I think Charity had randomly mentioned that on one of the double stuffed episodes at some point.
Yeah, apple juice just has a weird sensation in my mouth. But I didn't get that sensation, which means I could drink Martinelli's apple juice without having... without having any weird side effect. But
side effects, a twitching, and
hopefully it's not an allergic reaction. But you were talking about the history of it. So Martinelli's 1868. In the mid 1850s, Louis and Stephen Martinelli found California's Pajaro Valley ideal for apple farming. Soon the brothers turned their attention to crafting a unique fermented apple cider. Stephen, using his expertise from champagne making in France, created a cider that quickly gained popularity along California's central coast. Around 1917, as towns began curbing the sale of alcohol, prelude to Prohibition, Martinelli's halted all hard cider production and swapped their hard cider for sparkling apple juice.
Yeah, and what's funny is that when I was getting that information, I got a lot of information from the actual website. And if you look on the little footnote there, it comes from 1868hardcider.com. And I'm over 21 on the website. You have to say that you were so I can get the information. So
you can't even read about alcohol without being... That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, the reading is very inebriating, So, but it's great history. I'm over 21, but apparently I can still drink apple juice.
Okay, so my turn next. Should I pick something from the box?
Oh, definitely do something from the box.
Okay. Ooh. I'll pick something small, then we can work our way up to larger things.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we got a brick in here.
So we're going to go with one of our mom's favorites, the Chico stick, or Chico stick.
Chico sticks.
I'm saying Chico like
like Chico Marx. Even though the cigar is very Groucho,
Oh, that's true.
One day I call elephant my pajamas. I got my pajamas, I'll never know.
Okay, so Chico stick. Now, I don't know if this is one that has the year printed on it, but I know this one is old.
It doesn't have the year, but it does have the name of the company, which again, it might be kind of hard to see on camera, but it's Atkinson. So before we officially eat this, so I'm trying to think, what's a good rating for the apple juice? We both were we both were really pleased with it. 8 or 9? Maybe 9 out of 10?
Yeah, I can't think of anything I would change. I would probably give it a 10 out of 10 just because my mouth didn't feel weird.
Yeah, and Charity's more particular than I am, so if
I am picky.
If it passes Charity's taste buds and she doesn't gag or have a negative reaction to it.
That's true. We haven't had anything gross.
Maybe that's what we should have done. It should have been Charity's 10 out of 10. So I'll definitely make Martinelli's apple juice a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was a 10 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are ready for
the Chico stick.
Chico stick.
All right, here we go. Ooh, very crunchy too. Mm-hmm. So I will say something about the Chico Stick. If you look at the color now, when I was a kid, they were very orange. Mm-hmm. It was very orange, and I think I read somewhere that like they started using more natural ingredients and not as much dyes. So I will say, I mean, one that used to be bigger, like everything else, but it was definitely, I would say oranger. Is oranger even a word? More orange.
Orangiest or...
Oh, the most orangiest of the oranges.
They're very dry. It's interesting having it without chocolate. Like if you're not eating a Butterfinger, you just have this dry, sandy feeling in your mouth.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming was probably the intent in the first place.
Okay, so Sarah, do you have any history for us on the Chico Stick?
I do. So, the Chico Stick, like I said in the wrapping, the company that made it is called Atkinson's, or Atkinson's Candy Company, I think is the full title. So Atkinson Candy came out in 1932. They saw candy as an affordable treat in the midst of the Great Depression. The company specialized in peppermint and peanut butter flavored candies. Chico Stick has been manufactured at Atkinson since the 1950s. The company was once written in correspondence that they felt the Chico Stick resembled fried chicken, and that contributed to the name.
Huh, interesting.
And when eaten fresh, the candy is supposed to be dry and brittle.
Okay.
So that means that we had a fresh batch from that, which I do remember because you can tell. Sometimes you might open one and it gets a bit chewy, or if it sits out long, if you have it open and it sits out, I think it does absorb moisture, and so it does get chewy. So the fact that we had a really, really crunchy one shows that it was a good one, fresh one.
That's true. Okay, well in that case, I'm going to give Chico Stick a 7.
7 out of 10, that seems fair. So thank you, Atkinson. Thank you, Chico Stick. we'll save you for later.
Okay, so what are you going to pick out of our box of wonder?
Oh, let's see what we got here. Nut goodies.
Ooh, a nut goodie. Okay.
I think there's two. We have two of these.
Because we don't want to share.
Yeah, why do that? Very, very Christmassy packaging.
Yes, it is.
Because sometimes you always wonder what these actually are. I mean, it has the word nut in the title, so you know there's probably nuts in it, but it says roasted peanuts, maple flavored nougat, and a chocolate coating. So, and I'm looking forward to Charity's reaction because she loves nougat so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's the reason why I love Milky Ways and Three Musketeers. I will say, when we went out to Nifty Nuthouse to get some of these candies, it was fun to kind of sit and look at the design, look at the packaging, because I know when you look up the historical pictures of what the nut goodies used to look like in its original form, the design obviously is a lot different. So it was kind of cool to see that. But you ready to open?
Yeah, let's do it.
I've been curious about what these actually look like too.
That's true. Oh, that's actually a pretty good size, actually.
It is pretty good. Sort of the size of a York peppermint patty, around that size.
Well, now it is.
Yeah.
I was like, if this was the size in 2026,
it was probably like an oatmeal cream pie. Like it was probably pretty hefty, and it was like
the size of your hand,
15
or like the palm
cents or something.
Yeah. All right, let's take a bite. Oh, I was actually expecting a crunch.
Yeah. That's a lot softer than I thought.
That's really good, actually. How are you enjoying the nougat?
Well,
I will say I kind of prefer this to like the nougat in like Three Musketeer.
I was gonna say this is a different nougat because it felt peanut buttery. Is that peanut butter again?
It's thicker.
I mean, obviously there's peanuts, maple flavored. Maybe
the maple is changing the taste of it.
This is my lack of knowledge of nougat. I didn't know there was different kinds. So like, I would prefer this over like a Three Musketeers or a Milky Way because I can't. Oh.
That's really good, and it's actually got a bit of substance to it.
I was actually not expecting to like that. Okay, so Nut Goodies comes from Pearson's Candy, 1909. In 1909, P. Edward Pearson forms a confectioner distribution firm in Minneapolis with help from his 4 brothers. The Nut Goodie, a premium cluster bar, was introduced in 1912, one of the first manufactured products. It was made with real milk chocolate, maple nougat, and fresh roasted peanuts. The Nut Goodie was a major hit and sales soared at the height of the Roaring '20s. Oh, so you can just see like flappers like doing the Charleston eating their Nut Goodies.
We're just sitting there. Da, 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 da. That's how I pictured it. F. Scott Fitzgerald writing The Great Gatsby is just just eating a bunch of nut goodies while he's writing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I wonder. Now this is specifically a maple nut goodie. I assume they have other flavors, maybe like, I don't know, peanut butter or something. Or
yeah, the maple was their
original.
One. And I will say, just as a plug for all of them, check out their websites. They have some really, really great information.
There's a lot of good stories.
Yeah, and me with the history, I was kind of enjoying the research.
Of course you was. I'm enjoying the eating.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you... Oh, well, I rate the nut goodies. I don't know. I think I might do an 8 out of 10 for that one.
Yeah, I would too. That was good.
Yeah, it reached Charity's satisfactory number.
Yeah,
2.
mostly for the surprise of the nougat, because I was expecting to be like good, but it was good.
Okay, so we've done something with some nougat. What do you want to do next that's not nougaty?
I'm thinking we got Necco wafers in here.
Oh, okay.
And I've never had that. So years ago, we actually used to work at Ferris Wheel Candy Store before it sold to another family. Mm-hmm. And we had a section of historical candies, and Necco wafers was one of those in that corner. I had never heard of them or had them. Yeah. They always, to me, they looked like Smarties or Sweet Tarts just by the colors in the little circular form. Mm-hmm. But the original candy wafer, Necco wafers since 1847.
Man, like pre-Civil War candy. That's crazy. It's like pre-Civil War, and then what's this, the Gold Rush? So it's like pre-Gold Rush candy?
So while they were panning for gold, they were like, hey, Jones, pass me a Necco wafer.
That's exactly how prospectors sound. just flipping Necco wafers while they're getting their gold nuggets.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Get you a couple
here. Get a couple of these.
They say Necco on the little circle.
Ah, yes.
I don't know if this is...
Might be hard to see, but
it will be hard to see.
Take our word for it. It says Necco on there.
Okay, so my thought, if it's a wafer, it's gonna be like, you know, the Nutter Butters, or the Nutty Buddies, but without the chocolate, like just a little wafer part in the middle. That's what I'm assuming this is gonna taste like. Or maybe like a communion cracker. Yeah,
well, I'm sure they each have their own specific flavors. I think
that's true. It doesn't say like orange and green is lime or anything, but
I'm sure they all taste somewhat. All right, let's try one. Yeah.
Oh, it tastes like those wedding mints. Yeah, wedding mints taste better. This has more of a chalky, like I'm eating a Tums or something.
I will say the green one wasn't too bad. I don't know what colors or what.
I ate orange. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be equally disappointed, but
I have a purple. I think this is purple. I'll try one more.
I will try one more as well.
Yeah.
Oh! That one's worse!
The crunch is so loud. I'm sure the mic is picking up all the...
Oh!
No?
No, ma'am.
Oh, but let's see. Maybe you don't like those, but I do believe we had also gotten chocolate Necco wafers.
Yeah, don't set me up for happiness and then give me something nasty.
So let's see if chocolate tastes better than these ones. I'm kind of curious. I'm assuming these are the originals and then chocolate came later.
I mean, I'm sure during the Gold Rush days, these were fire. You know what I mean? Like, if you were eating nothing but cans of beans on the open fire with your cowboy friends, a Necco wafer was a great...
Here's the funny thing. You know, we were talking about how things might change through the years and centuries, how stuff doesn't taste. I'm sure that tasted exactly like it did in 1847.
Not like my first grade teacher's chalkboard.
That one, I felt like that's what 1847 tastes like. Like that was like that's one of those like I can tell. But let's try the chocolate ones and see if that is any different.
Yeah, I'd rather eat the fruitcake.
So a couple of chocolates for you. Okay, I'm not saying like it's straight up Hershey's.
It smells like nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna.
You gonna do both?
Mm-hmm.
These are the same faces Trader was making with the Jelly Bellies.
No, ma'am. I'm only eating one of them things.
Trader's making a whole lot more faces than I am.
No, those are terrible.
So now that we've talked so highly...
Please read the history so we can move to the next one.
Now that we've talked so highly about Necco wafers, I will say, again, the history is still pretty fascinating. But Necco actually stands for New England Confectionery Company. Production of the candy was suspended July of 2018 when, unfortunately, Necco went into bankruptcy. But they returned May of 2020 after the Spangler Candy Company purchased it. And the Spangler Candy Company actually started back in 1906. Necco is the oldest American candy still in production.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. Sorry to my Senior Wednesday friends. I'm sure they have a more refined palate.
For the history, I'm glad to have tried it. But just as a normal candy eater, it definitely is probably not in my top 10. Or 20.
That was such a nice politically correct way. It's not my favorite, yes. But I'm glad I tried. Nah, that stuff is nasty. Okay, I think it's your turn.
Yes, we're getting to the final stretch. So, I'm gonna pick...
Oh, we also sold these at the shop.
The cherry... He did the mash.
He did the cherry mash. The cherry mash. It was a candy smash.
Okay, so good thing we had that one at bay. So
that's our promo for the show.
I've always been curious of this as well. This is something I've heard a lot of people talk about. I don't know if it, like maybe on TV shows, but just because we interact with a lot of older people, they talk about cherry mash quite a bit.
People would come into the shop and ask for the cherry mash. Now, my thoughts, if there's cherry on the inside, I feel like it could be wet, like a cherry cordial.
Sometimes in those chocolate hearts, you do get something with like a cherry in it, but I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think I've ever had one where it's like liquidy. I think I've just had like the kind of the chewy, just the pink inside. Okay. So I'm kind of curious how that works.
Let's find out. American favorite since 1918. Let's see if it holds up this year.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like, remember those no-bake cookies we used to get? Where it was like coconut and looks like a Star Crunch. Remember those? We used to have those in our lunch.
Oh, Star Crunch, yeah. This one is like the Nut Goodie, but taller versus wider.
Yes.
So it actually has a pretty good taste to it. So let's see what the cherry inside.
I know. Actually, I hate cherry, so we'll see.
All right, here we go.
Nope.
I like it. Yeah, I think it's the same ender that you get within some of those Valentine chocolates. I think that's why it tastes so familiar.
Yep. I never liked those. I would rather eat that than a Necco wafer. So because of that...
Okay. I like how she said she made her own bar. So
Necco wafer got a 0. I'll at least, because there's chocolate on it and chocolate tastes good, I'll give it a 2.
2 out of 10?
Yeah.
Again, kind of like with the Necco wafers, for the history of it, for something from 1918, I think that's the thing, all this stuff is like, maybe with the exception of Chico Sticks and the fruitcake, everything else is over 100. I think it's just really cool for something like that.
Cherry Mash was created in 1918 by the Chase Candy Company, which began in 1876. By 1922, Cherry Mash was so popular that Chase built a 4-story plant in St. Joseph, Missouri. One entire floor was designated to the chocolate dipping crew, which makes me think of I Love Lucy. Its iconic red and white wrapper design has remained the same since 1930. Okay, so that's cool. They had to change their logo, which is actually kind of cool because so many people have changed their logos only to change them back. This we specifically picked for the historical reference. So this is Schweppes tonic water, which I know you're supposed to mix with something, but I actually just wanted to taste it by itself because I know it's supposed to be a bitter taste.
Yeah.
So that way you can mix it with stuff. But
how bitter is bitter?
Well, I have some Martinelli's left over, so I think I can mix my own drink here. So Schweppes says 1783, which I think this is probably the oldest one we've picked up so far.
I mean, goodness, 1783. Think about people that were alive. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, basically the people
Our forefathers had
Schweppes. Wait, just imagine us with a powdered wig and a quill pen in our hands. When I get tired of writing my John Hancock all day, I like to get a nice bit of Schweppes.
So we're gonna taste it first just plain, and then we'll mix it in something the way it's supposed to be.
Let's get the sound of the. Oh, refreshing. All right, shall we pour some in our fancy little cups, just so we can actually see it? So here we are.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like Alka-Seltzer.
It does look like Alka-Seltzer. All right.
Here, bubble. Okay.
So, are we just going to do this in one? Like, shall you just drink it all at once?
We can if we want to.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's bubbly. That's very bitter. It tastes like Alka-Seltzer. I'm gonna.
It tastes like Alka-Seltzer with a bit of sweetener to it.
This is the only drink I can mix because I didn't bring anything else. So.
All right, so a bit of Martinelli's and a bit of tonic water.
Okay.
All right.
It's probably just gonna taste like sparkling apple.
Schwepperelli's. All right, here we go.
Schwepperelli's.
We got to combine the two together. A little Schweppes and Martinelli's.
Chef Boyardee's biggest enemy or something.
We'll go with Chef Boyardee. All right, here we go. You know what's weird? I actually preferred it just straight up.
I will say, if I have to drink just straight up tonic water, I would rather have Schweppes than eat another one of these Necco wafers. I hated that.
All right, so a history lesson.
Yes, give me the history.
This year we're celebrating 250 years of the United States. So it's almost as old as us, in a matter of speaking. So Schweppes tonic water is actually the very first, even pre-ginger ale. It was the world's original soft drink. Its founder, Jacob Schwepp, was drawn to the new art of carbonated beverages. Customers referred to Schweppes as lightning in a bottle because it was the first bottle of its kind to retain carbonation. In the 1950s, so there was a lot of advertising in the 50s, during the campaign, it had something called the Schweppeshire, or I guess a Schweppeshire, I guess to add a bit of that Englishness to it. A spokesperson named Edward Whitehead coined Schweppervescence. It's kind of a mixture.
They've pretty much put their name on about 3 or 4 different words
things
so far.
Yeah, so it's kind of mixing the effervescence of Schweppes.
Effervescence. I'll give it a 4 just for what it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to drink a whole can of it. My turn?
Oh, so grand finale, yeah?
Yes, we have saved the best for last.
Gee, what could possibly in here?
Okay, it is time for moon pies. Okay, so I'm very excited about this because have we had moon pies?
I have a very vague memory of buying one, or either I bought one or my parents bought one. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. I don't remember having one since, and I remember being my taste buds were disappointed.
And prepared to be disappointed again. Well, I think this is it's chocolate and marshmallow, right?
That's the thing. I was not expecting marshmallow. I was expecting regular cream, like Oreo cream or something. I was expecting
like a cream pie.
I was expecting like an oatmeal cream pie, and I took a bite, and I'm like, in my mouth, I was like, what the heck is this? That was one of those things.
Double-decker moon pie since 1917. Also, now we won't be able to do this today, but the back says microwave for an out-of-this-world dessert. So you can actually microwave for 5 to 15 seconds.
Oh, but of course remove the wrapper because you have to be told that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
but it's probably like a s'more, maybe.
Maybe that's why.
Now this would be good as a s'more, like a campfire sort of thing.
Maybe that's why you warm it up. It probably does taste better with the marshmallows all nice and gooey and stuff.
Okay, but we're gonna eat it cold because we couldn't bring the microwave.
All right, here we go. Straight up.
Woohoo!
Pie.
I can see why you're disappointed. I'm going to take a few bites because I want to get to the middle. I want a good marshmallowy bite.
I mean, I was expecting more crunch from the graham crackers.
No, my mom, when we first took her to Nifty Nuthouse, and she saw there were moon pies, she got so excited.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's a childhood thing.
She was like, I used to eat these when I was a little girl. They used to walk there. I guess there was a little corner gas station and drugstore. And they would get a few pennies and go and get
I'm sure you get these for cheap, for sure.
I feel like I'm eating a sponge.
I think it's that graham. It is dry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta give that a 2.
The moon pie?
Yeah, it's so dry. The texture, it's not soft. It's not a soft cakey. That's why I said it tastes like I'm eating a sponge. It's very spongy and dry, which makes it a weird chewy sensation in your mouth with the chewiness of the marshmallow. It's just the texture is no bueno.
Yeah. But let's hear some history, shall we? So, like the package said, moon pie came out in 1917. As the story goes, Earl Mitchell, a traveling salesman from the Chattanooga bakery, spoke to a Kentucky coal miner who wanted a snack as big as the moon. So apparently Mitchell reported back to the bakery and the moon pie was created in 1917. And it actually was a big hit with coal miners. The moon pie has become associated with the boomer generation, which makes a lot of sense. You know, again,
I can see that.
Our parents and grandparents, they grew up with this stuff and they still talk about it.
I think because with the moon pie, especially back then since they were bigger, I feel like you get more bang for your buck. So I know both my parents, they grew up and they didn't have a lot of money. So if you could somehow gather a few pennies enough to go hand over your pennies and get a freaking huge moon pie.
Oh, yeah.
Like your walk to school or walk home from school, you could actually have a nice little snack.
The one we have is the double-decker because in the 1960s and 70s, the double-decker deluxe size moon pie came out, as well as flavors like vanilla and banana.
Yeah.
So this is what we have now, at least in 2026, is the double-decker. I'm curious if the double-decker back then was like...
It was probably like a birthday cake, like the moon pie birthday cake. Stick some candles on that and start singing.
Yeah, it had to have been pretty big, especially the fact that they stacked, you know. So, again, like with everything that we've tried, at least for me, for the history of it, I appreciate it. So I'm basically saying this, it might not have been my favorite.
But she enjoyed learning about it.
I did.
I will say, okay, hold up on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. What was your favorite?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nut goodies?
Nut goodies were my favorite. As for the drinks, Martinelli was the best drink.
Oh, yeah, so nougat and apple juice. A balanced part of this good breakfast.
Well,
so,
if you have any suggestions of historical things that we should try, we're definitely going to have to do this episode again.
Oh, 100%.
But if you have any suggestions of things we should try or order, let us know, because I am curious about some of the other things out there.
Yes, and give Charity a lifetime supply of Necco wafers.
I could use them as an art project. I can like glue them to construction paper or something.
The tasty mosaics of Necco.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, I'm gonna eat the rest of this.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to do that too.
The rest of this nut bitty.